Andy, first off, how was the PSV game? You had a different role, playing more central in that one. How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a different role. Obviously, with the job being done, we took the opportunity to give some people a rest, and the manager had said to me that I was going to be playing centre back, and I just tried to enjoy it as much as I could. Obviously, we wanted to win the game. But I thought, in terms of a team that's probably not got many minutes under the belt, and a really unexperienced bench and things like that, I thought we'd done some really good stuff, especially in the first half. But obviously, it's just disappointing to lose the game. But yeah, look, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a different role, a different way of looking at the game. But yeah, obviously, I think in the future I'll be looking forward to getting back to my left back role.
You've almost answered my next question there. So this isn't something then you'd like to do on a regular basis? Yeah,
look, at the end of the day, I'll play wherever I'm needed. That's always been the case for me. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I think obviously I'll learn a lot from playing that position and what you can do better, and what in case I'm needed there again. And I think you always want to learn new things. I think that's always been the case for footballers. And I think being able to learn different positions and play it as well is always brings a different feeling, a different bit of enjoyment. And look, I just tried to take that in on Wednesday. There was no pressure on all the lads. Our job was already done. Thankfully, we finished first with Barcelona also dropping points. And it was a really good campaign, but it meant that then Wednesday we could go out and kind of play with no fear. And I think you really seen that the first 35, 40 minutes. And we probably showed a wee bit of naivety in terms of the inexperience that we maybe had on the pitch to kind of lose that lead.
What's it been like then this season? You're top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League. Is it fair to say, is this the best Liverpool team you've played in?
I've played in some really good Liverpool teams. I've been very, very fortunate, and I think the team that won the Champions League and Premier League were a special team, and I think we proved back then that we could win the big trophies. I think just now we've not done that, so I think this team's definitely got the potential to be a really special team, but I think you need to win trophies to kind of to prove that. And I think obviously that team did manage to prove it by winning the two biggest trophies, and just now, okay, we're sitting nicely in both competitions, but we've won nothing yet, and it's far too early to say that we're going to win either of them. So I think I'll save that question until maybe a later date that I can answer it with a bit more honesty. But what I can say is this team's certainly got the potential to be a real special Liverpool team because of the quality they've got, because of the the mentality that's in that group. But we have to keep showing that, and like I said, hopefully that ends up in us winning something.
And what about Arne Slot? From the outside, it looks like he hasn't tried to change too much, certainly in terms of personnel. How's he been to work with? Does he do things much differently to Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah, he does a lot different, and it's certainly been a big change. Maybe the results and things like that haven't been, and like you said, maybe the personnel not so much, but certainly the way that we train, we play, and the meetings and things like that, it's very different. He's certainly put his own mark on the club and on the team, and it's he's been excellent since he's came in. I think everyone's enjoyed working under him, and obviously winning games helps that. Results obviously help that, but to create that feel good factor. But I think him and his staff have put in a lot of work. Left no stone unturned, and I think that's why we're in the position that we are. Also added into the fact that we've got a quality squad that is producing high level performances just now. So it's been good so far. We've all enjoyed it, and hopefully that continues, and hopefully his first season's a memorable one.
Are you slightly more controlled in the way you play games, like less dependent, less reliant on intensity now? Would that be the change?
I think intensity is still a huge part of our game. I think you see that with the distance we've ran or high speed running. I don't think there's been a massive difference in terms of that. But probably with the ball, we've tried to be a bit more controlled and a bit more. I think we were possession based under Klopp, but I think now we're maybe a wee bit more patient and a bit. So yeah, you can obviously see that that's definitely where the control comes from. But I think off the ball, we still try and be, high energy and try and win the ball back and get bodies behind the ball and things like that. And I think we've always been like that, and I think we'll always will be like that. And But yeah, certainly with the ball, I think we've had a bit more control.
And if you are then slightly less intense and it's slightly less a part of the game and you can control more, does that stand you in better stead for the end of the season? Are you likely to be slightly more fresh come the back end of the campaign?
Only time will tell. You know, we unfortunately don't know that until we're actually in that point. But you know, the schedule's obviously been, you know, relentless. You know, obviously 2 extra games in the Champions League were added. We've went far in the Carabao Cup. You know, we're still in the FA Cup, so we're in all competitions. So I don't think, you know, I think it's up to us to be fresh. It's up to us to be fresh in mind and fresh in body. But you know, the schedule's still a lot of games where, you know, there is tired bodies and things like that. But you know, hopefully come April, May, we will be still fresh and we will still be firing on all cylinders, because we're going to need to do that to win anything this season. And you know, if we are, then it gives us the best possible chance.
Yeah, you shared minutes quite a bit in the last month or so, which I can imagine at times, listening to things that you've said, is probably a bit frustrating. But if sharing minutes and playing a bit less now keeps you fresh coming into May, is it worth it?
Look, every footballer wants to play every single minute of every single game, but it's not always possible, you know. And I think we all know that. And you know, you can be frustrated at not getting picked, or you can be, you know, disappointed or whatever. But it's up to the whole squad to be ready when the manager needs them. And I think we've done that really well this season. I think when you see the impact that players have had off the bench, shows that we've got a good attitude in the squad. And I think a lot of times, you know, our bench has maybe turned the game in our favour and helped us get a point or helped us get 3 points. And I think that's crucial. So I think all of us have tried to do that. But like you says, if you don't want to play every minute of every game, then you know there's probably something wrong with you. That's the elite sports person in you. That's the competitive footballer in you that wants to be on the pitch at all times. But you know, the manager, the sports scientists and things like that sometimes have to look after you, or sometimes want to choose a different player because different reasons and things like that. And it's up to you to accept that. It's up to you to just be ready for when you're needed in that game, whether it's at half time, whether it's at 60 minutes, 80 minutes, whatever it is. I think our squad this season's shown that whenever you've been called upon, you go on the pitch and you give your best. And I think that's why we're in the position that we're in, and we're going to need that from now until the end of the season. We're going to need our whole squad if we want to do anything this season.